Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Happy to see you again here. I guess I'm seeing nobody, but I mean, realistically, we're enjoying this math stuff, I think. We're talking today, lesson 2.4, which is multi-step equations. There's some big ideas here. Step one to solving the multi-step equation is to simplify the expressions on each side. That means you're going to either combine like terms, distribute. You're going to make the left side and the right side where you can't do any more math on those individual sides before we start using step two, the properties of equality, to get the variables onto one side. And then step three, just solve it like we normally do. So, first example. What we have here is we're looking for step one. We notice that there are not any math problems that we can actually do on each side of the equal sign. So there's nothing over here that I can combine or do for math. So my job is just to get all of my variables onto one side and all of my constants onto the opposite side. So what I would like to do is, there's not a right way or a wrong way, but there's what I think is a little bit easier. I always move the smaller variable first to the other side. So this is the first step of potentially confusing you. If I want to move 5c's from the left side to the right side, I'm going to subtract 5c's. Now, because we're looking at keeping our like terms together, I'm going to put it beneath the other set of c's. And so this gives me 0c's on the left-hand side, 8 on the left-hand side, and then the math here makes us have 2c's, and then the minus 2 just comes straight down. Now our next step would be to get all of the constants onto the opposite side. So this is kind of like what we did in lesson 2.3 right now. We're going to take this negative 2 and we're going to add 2 to make this be inverse. So we're going to have plus 2. And we get ourselves into the situation of those canceling out to be 0. And then 2c is equal to 10. Now we divide like we did in previous problems to get c is equal to 5. And again, just like in all of the other examples when we're solving equations, you can plug this back in to see that you're doing things correctly. For our purposes of time, we're going to keep moving though. Example 2 is us using step 1. We need to actually go ahead and distribute this 1/3 to the stuff inside the parentheses. So 1/3 of 18 is 6. 1/3 of 12 is 4k's. So I just did the math here. I multiplied. And I'm just trying to make things go a little bit faster for us. And then right here, we're going to distribute. So that gets us to another 12k, and a 6 times a negative 7 makes a negative 42. So just like on the previous problem, my goal is to be able to, whoopsies, get all of my variables onto one side. So I'm going to move the smaller variable first. So that's my 4k, which is smaller than 12k's. Now again, our goal is to get all of the k's onto one side and all of the regular numbers, the constants, onto the other side. So if I subtract 4k's, that is then equal to 0 on the left side. We'll have a 6 and then an 8k on the right, minus 42. Now because we're trying to get everything from one side to the other side, we're going to get rid of this minus 42 by adding 42. And we're left with, again, that canceling. And we have 8k on the right and then a 48 on the left. And we're back into things that we've been practicing for a couple days now, dividing by 8 because it says times 8, so we're using our inverse operations. Divide, we got k is equal to 6. Now these are just how we solve with variables on both sides. Let's make things harder. Identities are when we have an equation that are true for all values of variables. What that means is that no matter what number I plug in for the variable, in example 3 would be in for c, no matter what number I plug in, the left side is going to be equal to the right side. So we'll show you all how that works out here. So I'm going to distribute and rewrite my math problem over here. So we have 40c, because 8 times 5c makes 40c. 8 times that negative 2 makes a negative 16. 10 times 32 makes 320. And then 10 times that 4c makes a positive 40c. So if I get all my variables onto one side here, folks, what we're going to do is we're going to subtract 40c, and we're going to find out that there's no longer any c's at all. And the only math that's left over is it says the negative 16 is equal to 320. Now, because this is not true, all of our variables are gone, and this is not true, we write down no solution. Because there's no way that we can plug a number into the variable c and have a math problem actually work. So the variables canceled out, and this was not true, therefore no solution. Now you might be able to guess what might happen on this next one, but we'll have the suspense fill us anyway. So we're going to distribute again. So we have 4w's, because 4 times w makes 4w, and 4 times 20 makes a positive 80. 1/5 of 20w's equals to 4w's, and then 1/5 of 400 is a positive 80. Now, if you haven't yet noticed, the left side is entirely equal to the right side. But to prove that this is true, we're going to subtract 4y's from both sides and find out that those all cancel and that 80 is equal to 80, which means that this is a true statement. This is called an identity. So that no matter what number that you plug in for your w, in this case, it's going to be everything works. Okay? That's why it's an identity. Now this is the one and only problem that I'm not going to share with you. I'm going to ask that you do this one on your own. It says find the value of h so that both triangles have the same area. Remember that the formula for a triangle, area is equal to 1/2 of the base times the height. So plug this stuff into there and plug this stuff into there and set them equal to each other to figure out if A, B, C, or D is your answer. And then we'll talk about the reasons why the answer is what it is tomorrow. All right, folks, this is lesson 2-4, solving equations with variables on both sides. This is the Berman Nation. We're signing off, folks. Have a great day.